everyone. I just want us to go through some basic concepts around the trust books and the business books. Um, these are still my details, guys. For any other future correspondence, you may email me on this email address. Now, let me just first focus on the trust bank account and the trust creditor. Remember, as an attorney, you are running a business to your clients. Sometimes clients pays you money in advance. For example, if I expect to have a lawsuit maybe around the month of December, which is maybe the next 12 months, the client will sometimes pay the attorney that amount in advance. So when that amount is paid in advance, remember, it must only be recorded under what? The trust bank account, because the trust bank account represents only the receipts from the clients. Okay, so any money from the clients must go to the trust bank account. Why do we do that? Is because we want to avoid mixing the trust money with the business money. So that's why we must always have two bank accounts, the trust bank account and the business bank account. So whenever I receive money from the clients, it must go to the trust bank account on the debit side. So we need to make sure that we remember that. Okay? But remember, that money in the trust bank account belongs to various clients. So now we must go and open those individual clients one by one. For example, Trust Sylvester, Trust James, Trust France. Can you see? So those accounts will be trust creditor. Remember, whatever you received under the trust bank account belongs to the trust creditor. That's why under the trust creditor, you're going to see the amount reflected on the credit side. Why on the credit side? Because that money at the moment is still owed to the client as long as we still have to render a service to the client. So we need to make sure that we know how to relate trust bank account to trust creditor. For example, I received 10,000 from Sylvester. You will see on the debit side of the trust bank, I'm going to have what? 10,000 on the debit side of that trust bank account. But at the same time, that 10,000 will be reflected under the trust creditor, Sylvester, to show that I'm owing Sylvester at the moment. Remember, I received money in advance from my client and I still have to offer that particular service. So immediately after we performed our services to the client, it means now we have got the right to the fee that we have charged. So that fee now, remember from the previous slides, we talked about the trust bank accounts and the trust creditor. Now, sometimes when you are busy running this service as an attorney, sometimes you incur the other fees which were supposed to be paid by the client himself. So those fees now need to be paid back by that particular client. That's why sometimes when we charge those fees will reflect under what? The business data. It means that you show that a debtor or a client is owing you that fee. Okay. So those fees must be reflected on the debit side of the business data. Okay, and you will see this business data account is going to be very useful, especially under the correspondence. Okay, but under this section, you will realize that only those fees which have been incurred on behalf of the client will be billed to the client by the attorney or by the business. That's why you will see that amount of 500, for example, reflected on the debit side. Okay, and this amount will need to be paid to the business at the end of the day. Okay, now let me focus on the business bank account. Remember, the business bank account means the money that belongs to the business. So after offering a service to that particular client, it means we must make sure that the client pays the business. Where are we going to get that money from? We're going to get that money from the trust bank account. Remember, at the moment, the money that belongs to the trust creditor is reflected on the debit side of the trust bank. So the trust bank must decrease. That's why on the credit side of the trust bank, you're going to see business bank account, so that we can be able to transfer to the business bank account on the debit side. You see, so there must be a transfer between the business bank account and the trust bank account. Remember, it's because we offered a service and now we can claim the money that the client paid to us in advance. Okay, so as I said, you need to know how to relate the two. Just to recap, firstly, we need to have the trust bank account, and thereafter you must have the trust creditor. The trust bank account is having all the amounts which have been received from our clients in advance. And the trust creditor is to show that those amounts which have been received in advance from the creditors belong to the creditors. That's why the trust creditor creditor's amount will be reflected on the credit side, and the trust bank account will be on the debit side. Thereafter, after rendering the service, in other words, we need to transfer the money from the trust bank account to the trust business account. So we need to make sure that we affect the trust bank account on the credit side. We take money, and this money is taken to what? To the business bank account. You will also see that on the credit side of the trust bank account, the contra account will be the business bank account. It means we are transferring from the trust to the business bank account. So under the business bank account, on the debit side, you're going to see trust bank account to show that you took money from the trust bank account. So please make sure that you work around this. So make sure that you know how to differentiate between the trust books and the business books. This is just a basic layout, because when it goes to the correspondence, it can be a little bit difficult, but I believe in the basics. So if you get this, this will be a very good foundation. Next time when I take an exercise that is a little bit advanced, I think you will be able to cope. I think this video is useful to you guys. I just thought of it in a short way. Hopefully it will work for you guys. I would like to wish you good luck for your exams, and hopefully this short video will be useful to you guys. Thank you very much for listening.